Whenever you're ready, man.
All right, we are live. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hopefully it sounds good. Let me know in the chat if not. But otherwise, welcome to Amigos Monday. Quarantine edition 5678. That's how long it feels like we've been doing this. Anyways, shout out to my awesome co-host, Legion Vapes, over on this side on my screen. And we've got a whole lot of nothing pie to bring you guys tonight. So welcome.
We got nothing planned. We got nothing on the books. Well, I got a few things to be up about, but nothing serious. No news, no advocacy, no big major events in our vaping world. But that's not what this is about. This is about hanging out with good friends, shooting the shit, having a vape, and just taking our mind off the woes and the issues and the problems with the world. So that's what we're here for. I do want to take a moment just to say hi. I've got you guys all on the screen there. Steven Sard, so glad to see you here. Tick Begins, Great Wombatsky. Who else do I see there? Overdrip, T Gets, again, so glad to see you. David Moyle, I'm glad you could make it. That's awesome. I know you occasionally miss the Mondays. It's so good to have you guys here. Because to be honest, I'm going a little stir crazy, and it's a weird thing. I am a hermit. I'm antisocial. I prefer my contact with humans to be like this, through the screen. I don't like to go out anymore. I'm not a party person. I gave up on that, and yet the government has told me to stay home. So of course,
Now you want to go out.
Now I want to go out. Now I'm just itching to get outside, and there's nothing happening out there. And we've got a 2-person restrictions just announced. So even if I do go out, I have to make sure there's never more than 2 people in any one place. It's very weird. The wonders of lockdown. It's not actually lockdown. We're still on stage 3. They haven't officially given us proper lockdown. I wish they would just do it and get it done with. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I feel your pain on that there. I usually don't ever like to go out and talk to nobody if I usually have, back when I was drinking, which is 4 months this month, by the way. I haven't drank. Anyways, thank you. I can't wait for 6 months. I'm going to drink again. Anyways, I usually have people come over to my house. I don't like to go out. I don't like to do social things. I'm just really hermity, And, don't take it as offense. If you ever ask me to hang out in real life, it'll probably take, 4 tries like that girl you tried to get in high school. Anyways, so now when this is all going on, I'm like, oh man, that would be real nice. A hike up to Red Rock or going out and taking pictures of everything. And it would be cool with the pictures because no one's around, but you're still probably going to get in trouble for going out there. And now I do have the urge to want to go out and do stuff or be social. And it's because you can't. And I think we've come around to this independent lifestyle of everyone thinking I'm a unique individual and everything I want goes. So then when the biggest powers tell you can't, you're like, nah, motherfucker, I'm going to do it. But yeah.
Just want to take a side note. Steven Sard has popped a thing into the comments. The FDA is petitioning the U.S. court to delay the PMTAs to September, and the other side is saying they will not contest it, so it's up to the judge. Fingers crossed that the judge is going to take both sides on par with that and move forward. We need to push that back. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And the other thing is Jangles is saying that his older fur baby, I'm not sure if it's cat or
it's a dog
or a hamster or whatever, but has passed away. Yeah, man, losing family, and it's a hard thing. I feel for you, man. It's a tough thing to go through, especially right now, but at any point in time. I'm one of those people that believes that you adopt a pet for life, and it is part of your family. So, my condolences.
Yeah, that Jingles knows me on a personal level too. Dogs are like your kids, man, and the passing of one, is just like losing part of your family, like Steve said. So, thoughts your way, man, and hopefully, you remember that you gave that dog a good life. You brought it to this point, and you gave it a good time. And I'm the worst at consoling, so much love, man. Also, shout out to my buddy. I want to do a special shout out because he's also a very hermit, and he's always like, oh, dude, I'm going to show you some support. Sean McKell in the chat. That's my buddy Snorkel on Xbox. Anyways. But yeah.
Welcome. And Jason.
Yeah.
Also welcome.
Jason Toohey. We saw a couple people we might have missed. David Moyle, you already talked to him. Shoestring Tom. Shout out Shoestring Tom. He's over there in Ireland coming on, showing us some love on the show. So thank you for coming in. And Overdrip, I saw you in here too. What's up, bro? Hope you're doing good. T Gets, that's the homie right there. But anyways, for some filler right now, I did put it in the post that you guys saw of me and Steve as characters from I Love Lucy, because I forget the side character's name. I'm sorry. But anyways, and the post that was Steve's idea, by the way. We put on the post. We're gonna give away a mod. So we're going to start doing giveaways once a month on the Monday show and once a month on the Friday show. And so we'll put it in the post so you guys know. Reason being, things are going slow with everything, you know, and work and all that stuff. So we're going to take some time to space those out. And also, I don't really give too much love to you guys. I think T Gets is in here and the take begins. Shout out to our patrons. We totally forgot about having the Patreon. We brought it back. You guys are still there. We have a couple other people there, Keto Daddy and... I can't remember names right now. I'm not trying to leave you out, but we're going to do something. I'll do something special for you guys, put it all together, run it by the group, and we'll get something put together for you guys sticking through. Because we turned it off for a long time, and you guys came back and still put in there. Anyways, I just made that really long. No, never mind. Anyways, we have an Anarchist V2 comp mod in camo we're going to give away tonight. It's got the original button, the Anarchist button, and all that. And this is an older piece. I think that it would fit something. I can't remember what size that is. Like old school recoil. But like there's no way.
22 mil.
Yeah, 22 mil. There's no way you're getting something new, like a goat or something on there. Not that I tried. But yeah, so we'll do that a little bit later on. And so, you know, get something back to you guys for hanging out, quarantine, and chilling. And then in the chat, go ahead and start tossing in your buffets. Steve, what do you got, man?
Not a whole lot changed. This will lead into something in a second, but yeah, I'm still using my my Hexome and my goat combo. Moe's vanilla custard in there right now. Really, really nice. Solid performing setup. I've got my Aegis X. I've got my Zeus X on top of that. This is the mesh edition review. I think I told you guys before it should have been this week. They've asked me to push it back again because, yeah, the world is weird. But I've got some really interesting ice cream cake from Vapor Treats. This is it's interesting. It's I get mostly soft serve coming out of that. It's a nice juice, but it's quite sweet. If you're not into the sweet juices, not really for you. Vaping something really interesting. I got the Anarchist, the comp mod V2 a while back. I couldn't get it working properly. There was some issue with it. Fiddled around, finally got it going. I've got the, what the hell is that?
Is that the one I sent you?
I'm not even going to screw it off. Yeah, this is the mod you sent me, and this is the mini, whatever the hell it is. It's a single coil banger. It's really, really nice. And this juice is a Three Sisters Eden, which I've had sitting here. They've actually discontinued, as far as I know. They're an Australian juice, and it is it's interesting. I just started baking this morning. It is donut with snuff, so that's a weird mix. And this button on here it's kind of weird. Like it doesn't work all the time. It needs to go exactly the right way. So let's see if I can make a fool of myself or make this work. Yeah, it's donut with snuff. And I you know, if you know me, I stay away from the tobacco flavors. That's the reason I hadn't tried it. I forgot what it was. And I just thought, oh yeah, I'll try that. And it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not something I'd go for normally, but it's not bad. I was talking to Chris earlier.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
And I had completely forgot about this. When I was 10 or 11, and I lived in a small, tiny town in Scotland, there was the little newspaper shop down the end, and they had little tiny tins of snuff. And I felt really rebellious, so I bought a tin of snuff. And I think for about a year, maybe a year and a half there, yeah, I was running around with my little tin of snuff. Running around town. This is long before I started smoking or anything. Just used to snort the snuff every now and then. Just I don't know why.
Did you get the buzz from it? Like, to me, well, okay, so yeah, let's get into that a little bit. Then we'll continue with the buffet thing.
I didn't get a buzz. I didn't get a tobacco high or anything. but I got like tingly nostrils. But yeah,
So
I felt
basically, like
really
vapor
kind of,
rub up your nose in tobacco form.
yeah, kind of with like brown flecky snot coming out afterwards. It felt really, I guess I felt sophisticated and adult and very, you know, very, my little suspenders, yes, nice enough. On the way to school.
You're the original hipster.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I had completely forgotten about that until I looked this up.
So when you say it's in the flavor,
About a year or so.
when you
Sorry?
say it's in the flavor, to me, I understand that, like, smell and taste go hand in hand. So of course,
Yeah.
you smell something, you get a taste of it. Is that what that flavor is, or does it smell like? Obviously, it's not going to taste like this, but like I'm getting the perception of gooey tobacco leaf boogers.
It's kind of like a tobacco-y donut, really.
Okay.
It's a dark, rich sort of tobacco, very more like a pipe tobacco than a dry cigarette tobacco. Very moist tasting.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So for any of you guys that
Anyway,
aren't 400 years old and have ever been around pipe tobacco, it's like hookah shishis.
well, there's the weird thing. Like I completely forgot that I used to do snuff. Like just it fell out of my brain for decades. And then I started smoking like later, and I smoked for ages. And I guess again, hipster, I must have been like 22, 23 when I took up a pipe, and I started smoking a pipe quite regularly. I would go through periods. I'd smoke a pipe for 2 or 3 years, then I would end up back to cigarettes, and then I would do that for 3 or 4 years, and I'd back on the pipe. So my entire smoking career is back and forth.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the ritual of a pipe, the process of a pipe. I enjoyed the flavor. I always liked a rich, dark cherry, like Dutch cherry tobacco.
Yeah.
Which was one of my favorites. I like the smell. I like the fact that if you're sitting outside smoking a pipe, little old ladies would come up to you and go, "Oh, is that a pipe? Oh, my dad used to smoke."
It's
a pipe."
distinguished.
They would just stand there and smell your clouds. They would be like, unlike vaping where people get really shitty with you. If you smoke the pipe, people come up and like, "That reminds me of my grandpa. That's so cool." And I would do that for ages. But
Yeah.
I was always just too lazy to clean my pipe properly, and so you get to this point where you take a puff and like, if you don't clean the stem, all the goo builds up in there, and it's thick and black and liquid and tarry.
Yeah.
And it would bubble. You'd go to take an inhale, and it would bubble, and your mouth is like the worst. It's worse than a dry burn, literally.
Yeah.
It's the worst experience ever. And every now and then I would get a pipe that would get like that, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm going back to cigarettes for a while.
Yeah. And the moral of the story, guys, of that was, if you didn't know, what Legion said was, in 100 years, our grandkids will be walking around vape clouds asking to smell them because it smells like their grandpa. But no, anyways, what else with your buffet, man?
Aegis pod system. Again, I've had this since just about Christmas. It's been sitting here for a while. They keep pushing back when they want the reviews done, but yeah, it's a nice little solid heavy duty pod system. I've been trying not to show it just because they didn't want, but I know that a lot of people have already pulled it out and they've done their pictures, so I'm not going to worry anymore. Decent little system, and a really old bottle of Marshmallow Man that I pulled out just because it was there and I just wanted to use it up. It's not bad.
It's funny that you said Marshmallow Man. So I have I got a T-shirt from somebody that's been around in the industry for a long time, and it's the Marshmallow Man T-shirt. And I thought it was a cool T-shirt because it looks like Boo from the Super Mario game, and all that stuff. But yeah, so I have a brand new Marshmallow Man T-shirt that no one's ever worn, just chilling in my closet. I haven't broke out yet. But yeah, that's a pretty good buffet. With the what I got today.
That's pretty much it for me today.
I ain't got nothing too crazy. I did switch it up with the juice. Obviously, topside with the goat. But I am back on Rocket Blast. It's strawberry blue raz lemonade, and it's really good. So I've been vaping on that all day. I did, and Steve can attest to it, try to set this up with the dang and the breeze tones on top, but apparently his coils are too low. Thanks a lot, Adam. You didn't put that in any info. But yeah, no. Also, while we're on it, you can get Bridgestone's coils at local vape. Use the code Amigos20, get 20% off your order. And that works on your whole cart, not just Bridgestone's coils, but you get some fucking Bridgestone's coils. And since my buffet is real short, let's hit the chat and pick a couple. Let's see. Actually, this one stood out to me, so I want to point it out. Obviously, this guy's got a preference right here. I want to point out Mowgli vapes. He's got the Boxer and a Zeus X RDA ×4 with peanut butter toffee, butterscotch in a different one, strawberry shortcake in a different one, and candy banana in a different one. That's a lot of the same thing. Obviously, that's a testament to those devices. So, yeah, shout out to those guys. And then Steven Sard's going old school with the Siegel I can't say it, 100 K-Fun Prime, Anakin Chroma R, the K-Fun Light, 2019, and the Unicorn Vort with the ODM RDA, and some Breeze Tones coils that we were just talking about. Let's see, Jason's got 2 vapes for him tonight, the Stormbreaker Boss with the Trilogy, and a Lazy Coffin with Theatro, I'm guessing. I don't want to get that wrong. Tick Begins, I'm not even going to read any of yours because I know it's a purge. And a little mix-up from the buffet. Leanna's vaping's in the chat. I am having a hard cider and vaping lovely creation that Django's asked me to make for him. So thank you guys for sharing what you guys are vaping on with us. Now that I've got this collection of juices behind me, I've got some stuff to try. I think I'm going to get into desserts this week. See how I like it.
Yeah. Here we go. We went through the buffet. Now, I had one more thing that I was going to throw in the mix today. And I started setting it up this morning, and it has been nothing but a headache and really reminiscent of what I went through about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So I pulled out my absolutely gorgeous, my Vicious Ant. It is a Swanker, as you can see, with the DNA 75. This is the Omega, so it's got a tiny little RTA in there. Reviewed this a while back and haven't really used it since I finished the review. It's just been sitting looking glorious, and I thought, well, not a lot coming through, why not use the good stuff? I'll pull that out. And I threw a coil in there and I started filling with it, and the same thing that started happening with my DNA 250C, my Odin, has occurred here. I put it in, I hit the button, the screen flashes on and goes off, black. Try that, take the battery out, put it back in, flashes on, goes black. I plug it into the computer and I hook it up to eScribe. Everything's working fine. I can go through all the menus and everything. Can't fire it, but other than that, it's working fine. I shut off eScribe, it's still plugged into the computer. Hit the button, screen comes on, go to fire it, screen goes black. I fiddled, I've spent hours this morning. I pulled out the atomizer and checked the coil, make sure it's not shorting. I put it on something else. I tried doing it without an atomizer. I tried putting it back in. I've changed the coil in there. I just cannot get this thing to run. I'm glad I didn't fill the bottle in advance because I would have been trying to save and pull out that juice from something else. But yeah, I may end up spending an hour or two this afternoon, or I may just, I don't know, give up. I have really come to the point where I'm starting to really dislike DNA boards. I'm just having trouble with everyone. I'm surprised that this was the same exact problems as a completely different board. There's no, I don't know why. I don't know how. It seems to make no sense to me. Especially when plugged in, it works as expected, except for not firing. I don't know what's going on with that. So I would have had that to show off. That would have been my prize piece. Yeah, that's what I'm using. But
that's two in a row on you, isn't it now?
Yeah, that's 2 DNAs in a row, and both of them have been used quite a long time, and multiple rebuilds and stuff, not an issue. They hadn't been updated, they hadn't been changed, they just stopped working. That one's been sitting on the shelf for quite a few months. The other one was in use. I just literally changed the batteries and it just died. So I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with budget Chinese boards, because budget Chinese boards just do what they're supposed to do. And if they're dead, they're dead. This is some weird in-between half-life state that I don't like. Don't like it at all.
Sorry, it's getting real cloudy in here. So the first one you had before was on the Odin, wasn't it?
Odin, DNA 250C, pretty much the same symptoms. When plugged in, it's working fine, but unplugged, just running on batteries, it won't work properly. I did manage to get the Odin up and running for one set of batteries. I don't know what I did. I fiddled and played, and eventually, by having it plugged in and getting it going and then unplugging it while it was going, it managed to go through another battery. But when I changed it, that was it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm always going to make sure I have a stack of mechanical devices just sitting waiting, because when it comes down to it, if the battery works and the coil works, you're good. Boards, yeah, they will die. And I would have expected more from a high-end board like that. They've got a reputation. They've got a level of quality. Would hope that they would have lasted longer. In the meantime, Geek Vape board, still working fine. Use it day in, day out. This probably needs to be re-wicked. I'm probably going to call.
Yeah, didn't you hit it earlier before the show?
Yes. Yes.
It's all right. Your screen's freezing up. We missed it.
Oh, good. No, that was good. Yeah, so literally, I think I kind of need to strip everything down and clean. We were talking the other day, actually, I did pull out. I was telling Chris that I have two boxes there. One that has gone through the ultrasonic, it's clean, it needs to be put back together. And the other one that needs to be stripped down and done. I actually did go and put the clean stuff back together. It's literally like just sitting here on the edge of my desk, trying to figure out where I'm going to put those. And I went through a box this morning. I'll show you this.
Get some nice Legion buns there, everybody.
Yeah, just random things that I completely forgot I had. I need to go through all this stuff. I have way more stuff sitting here than I remembered I had. And some of it's good stuff. I remember, like the dog. I love the dog. And then I've got things that I can't get coils for anymore. And then I've got, oh, look, the Zeus X. Oh, pull that out. I'm going to use that. Maybe I'll just build that now. Why not? You talk, I'll build.
Yeah, so while Steve does that, we've been trying, if you've watched last week's show, I've been trying to spice up the show a little bit because we have a little bit more, I have a little bit more time to dedicate to it right now. So let's go ahead and we'll hit our news section. What we call it is the, I know this is really cheesy and it's really bad. Deal with it for now, guys. But yeah, anyways, so what's going on is, and this is in New South Wales, Australia, so I'll go over it. Graham Lee of Norwa, I probably got that wrong, New South Wales, told Bacon Valley Shire Council officials 3 of his 4 huskies went missing 2 years ago when a storm took his fence at his home. Lee said 2 of the dogs were soon recovered thanks to their microchips, but one husky, Indy, remained elusive. Initially, she thought he would turn up, but like the others did, I kept going to the pound, but after a few weeks, no word. I thought she must have been hit by a car, he said. There was no sign of Indy until 2 years later. This happened like last week. 2 years later this week, this past week, there was no sign of Indy until 2 years later, which was this week, when a resident in Bermugwai, 136 miles away, found the dog wandering loose with her 2 young puppies. So while this dog was gone, this is the dog right there, it was lost over 136 miles away and made it back home. So the reason why I wanted to put this together is because I got a text from Jingles right before the show. His dog passed away. And just as a little moratorium, shout out to man's best friend. They always out there, always doing their things. I'm a huge dog guy. I love dogs. I got my best friend sitting on the floor right here. But yeah, so our new segment's supposed to be a little lighthearted and fun and take away from the coronavirus, because I don't know if you guys noticed, and this is me feeding into it. It's every fucking where, and then everyone has advice and all this stuff. Try not to get into that too much because all you do is rant about it. So yeah. Anyways, make sure you take care of your furry friends. Show them some extra love. Because could you imagine Breestone's coils right there, guys? They're OGs. Is that the OGs or is that the new ones?
Blues are the new ones. Tricor Alien comes out to 0.16 to 0.26. That's not right.
What's the gauge on them?
Fuck, man. I'm getting old.
You got your glasses on. You still can't see.
No, can't read that. 0.14 to 0.16.
See, there's the thing. I don't know the ohms of anything. Coming from a guy that was a generator mechanic in the military for 8 years with awards for being a generator mechanic, I do not fuck with Ohm's law. I am terrible. I hated it. And while Steve's building, I'll just go on a little story time rant for you guys. If anyone's ever dealt with dealing car batteries or it was in the military, you know that we have two 12 volts that run Humvees, right? They're big batteries, so it's 24 volts going through them. And it always scared the crap out of me because I was always afraid of arcing the fucking wrench to like the side of the Humvee. You know, it's a metal frame. So anyways, when I was in Afghanistan, we had a fucking piece of equipment that went down. And so they tried to jump it. You use these things called slave cables. That's a terrible name for them. But anyways, it's two female cables that connect to male connections on military vehicles. And you can jump start them that way. But these guys that I went overseas with were a signal unit. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with nerds, but these guys were the ones that you make fun of when you see like the World of Warcraft sweaty guys on the South Park episodes that hide in the basement and they smell like Cheetos because that's all they ate the last 6 years. But they're very smart and good people. Anyways, not very too technical hands-on. So I get a call on my Roshan, which was the Afghan cell phone network. Yo, this shit's about to blow up. Come run down here, blah, blah, blah. I was up at the Special Force base, so I had to come running down like a mile to this place and see what was going on. So instead of doing the cable from connection to connection, this genius thought that he would connect wires that he found from one battery to the other battery on the other piece of equipment to jumpstart it like you would jumpstart a car but without clamps, and then ended up frying out the connection of the batteries and shorted it to where it melted out the whole wire to the side of the Humvee. So now there was this black burnt wire that went out the door and went across the side of it that was melted to it, and he almost blew up these two batteries. So anyways, my point of this story is if you guys don't know what you're doing, it's okay to ask for help. Otherwise, you're going to burn down something. And that's why if you ever come here looking for advice, you'd ask someone like Steve. He has a lot of experience with stuff like this. Or you'd ask Breeze Tones. He has a lot of experience with the coils. You know why I'm here? To make you guys laugh and to tell stupid stories. So how's that build coming, Steve?
Getting there. Let's see.
But yeah, battery safety, guys.
So I'm trying to switch to my tabletop cam.
Oh, this is the fancy stuff, guys. If you guys haven't seen Steve's tabletop cam, it's pretty nice.
There we go. Pretty shit. Pretty shit, but glad it's working. I can keep talking while we go. So, I heard that you are taking...
Oh, go ahead.
What? Where?
Sorry.
I heard that you're taking a bit of an extended period of time at home for the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
So what are your plans for that period of time besides hanging out with me?
So honestly, for big boy crap, I've got to move out of this house I'm in right now, move into a new place. I went earlier today. Well, I did it. The better half did, and so went and checked it out. And so the new place we're looking at is pretty nice. It's got a big backyard, no landscaping needed, which will save me some money. So besides that, got a new place on the horizon going to move into next month. So if stuff starts looking janky behind me, that's why we're moving. Other than that, though, I've been thinking about with my time free to start doing some product shots for other stuff, and then also looking into maybe doing some weed photography, like marijuana photography. So here in Las Vegas, I don't know if a lot of people didn't know, weed is legal in Nevada. And so there's a lot of dispensaries out here. But a lot of these dispensaries, when you go on their websites and stuff to check out products, it's like stock photos, which are, they're decent and stuff, but they're not that cool. So I was thinking about maybe taking my swing at maybe getting into some bud photography and doing stuff like that, checking that out. And, maybe helping out some businesses out here, class that stuff up, and then get into, check out a different industry. I am currently, this isn't something I wanted to post publicly, but I am laid off right now. So I do not have a non-compete, and I'm not begging for work, but if you guys need help with any social media stuff, I can now talk to you guys about it. But that's not me asking for work. That's more or less, hey, I'm free to help people out if they need it. And then, we'll go from there. But yeah, so that. And then another thing I was looking into, maybe checking out, was this drone I got. So got a drone for Christmas with a camera on it. It's nothing that fancy. You do have to have an FAA license out here in Las Vegas to fly around unless you're in like a designated area, which is a terrible area. But anyways, I've never flown a drone before. Well, I did. I had this little pocket drone. Anyways, never flown a drone before, so I'm going to check that out, see how that goes. You can connect it to your phone. It flies pretty far and all that. But yeah, that's about all I've really got planned coming up. And then, what about you, Steve? You got anything that you've gotten into that you've found to pass time?
Nothing huge. I mean, still doing the channel, of course. Not many reviews coming through these days, but I will be doing my how to run a YouTube channel. I have to do the vape review channel. Planning on that sometime this next week. Usual random streams whenever I think about it, and the Ion Vaping on the Thursday for you guys. Other than that, not a lot going around except staying home. Just watching a lot of TV. Catching up on the last season of Better Call Saul at the moment. And just finished off the card last night.
Nice.
What about you? What are you watching?
Honestly, I'm not a new TV show kind of guy. I gotta wait till it's like 4 or 5 seasons in before I get into it because I like to binge watch. I never watch anything premiering, but I have been, and it's so cheesy. But Better Half likes it, the Masked Singer. So it's like the kind of like the premise of the American Idol stuff, but they don't like they vote on who like stays, but it's not like open to national votes, like Twitter or whatever. But anyways, it's old celebrities or not so old celebrities. And so anyways, they come on the stage and they have these elegant outfits and they go on there and they sing and they perform, and then the panel of judges, which is kind of fucking stupid if you ask me. I think I got Jane McCarthy on there. I hate her, but anyways, this isn't Friday. I'll talk about that then. Then they got a couple guest judges, and then like you try and guess what celebrities it is, and it's kind of cool because like it's older celebrities. Like I think they had like Patti LaBelle on at one point, and no one could guess it, and so that's been something cheesy I've been watching. But like I said before, I'm not a new show kind of guy. So me personally, I've been getting back into old stuff and binging again. I like cheesy American sitcoms. Like I've been getting into Scrubs. Almost finished that, and that's like a doctor. Like it's like Friends, but they're doctors. Basically.
Yeah, I remember Scrubs.
Yeah. So Scrubs.
That show.
Yeah. Scrubs is a good show I've been watching, and then also Futurama. But I can't say that's something I get into new. Futurama's always on my recently watched. It's a great show. It's a little nerdy, but not too much, and then it's dumb enough that I can understand it.
That's not dumb. Don't talk yourself down there.
Oh, that's how I get by. But yeah, so other than that, yeah, got into some older video games. I beat Fallout 3 again, and that took like 3 days, which sucks because once you play something, I know you're not a gamer, Steve, but I know Steven started out their games, and he's also a Fallout fan. When you play games again, you go through, you kind of know the tricks. So it doesn't last as long, you know what I mean? So it kind of sucks. But other than that, if any of you guys, I'll throw this out there. We did it before. I've got a couple of you on here. If any of you guys game on the new Call of Duty, I am on there. And if you guys are bored at home quarantine and you see me online, you can add me through your Activision email, even if you're not email, but Activision account if you're not on Xbox, because I'm on Xbox. So you just add WHW Vandal on Xbox or on your Activision account, and I can play with you PlayStation losers and do all that stuff. Yeah. So anyway, Steve, now what you're doing is when you're stuffing the cotton in, it looks like you're getting pretty precise. Usually I take my sharp pointed scissors, and I don't do a full build like you obviously use go aheads, and I just poke it in. Is there a rhyme or technique that you use personally that you say is better than maybe like what I do is just stuffing it?
All depends on which device you're using, but I like to cut my cotton just long enough to actually fit into the well, not too long that I have to actually jam it and stuff it. And I like it to kind of fill that entire area. It's pretty basic stuff, and I just like to take my time to make sure it's all down in there and sitting properly. And then
you go for the ice cream cake.
Yeah, why not?
T gets in the chat. I'll address this real quick. Hold on. First, Big shout out, love, to Mr. Breestones. He's in the chat. You know, he's real busy. He's working a lot, so he can't be here as often. But believe me, he's got you guys in his thoughts all the time. We talk about you guys all the time. And, like, not to be weird, but we act like you guys are our kids. And not that, you know, we're looking down trying to police you, just that we care about you guys. And he's always like, oh, I feel bad I'm not around. I'm like, no, dude, handle real life business. Everyone understands. But me and Madam are talking about some stuff. And we have some cool new stuff going. Oh, this reminds me. If you didn't notice, the Amigos & Co. IG is up and running again. I will be on that account. If you guys message it, just know you'll be talking to me. But we're going to have the IG going again. And then also this week we're going to roll out on the Amigos account ad campaign for Breestone's coils. So yeah. So you guys can look forward to that. And then also, anytime that you guys have your vape pictures and stuff, you know, have more time to dedicate to it, tag the Amigos & Co. if you're using like hand checks with stuff that you've won on here, and we'll give you guys a shout out. We kind of left that account dormant for a long time. A lot of us didn't have the time. And then the fact that sometimes you guys would be posting products that would not be ones that I could sell. I had a non-compete, but now I can post those things and do the social media for the time being. So yeah, go ahead and make sure you guys tag us on that stuff. And now as you see, oh, it was an RTA. I thought you were doing a RDA.
No, this is the original Aegis X, or Zeus X, sorry. Dual coil RTA. Get that filled. So this is it, guys. You get to see what it actually takes to do a build without my editing and all my fancy tricks. This one actually went fairly smooth. And we are done.
So when you put your juice in there, how long do you let it sit before you let it soak before you take your first, I guess, swig? I'll use the wrong terminology.
With an RTA, not long at all. Literally this long, because you know
it's small. It's smothered in the old water. Water.
Yeah.
It's smothered in the juice. Excuse me. What the fuck?
Yeah, not water. Don't want to use water. Let's see, we got a 0.13 Breestone's coils, 55.5 watts.
Nice.
Let's pump that up to 80 watts. Beautiful.
If you didn't see it in the chat, beautiful. Steve, Liana in the chat says that you're inspiring her to build now, so good job.
Good, good. Building is easy. It's not that hard. The only thing is that if you're using basic round wire, you've got to make your own coils. That is really, really simple. There are calculators out there. If you want to use pre-made coils, Breestone's coils at localvape.com. Amigos 20 will get you 20% off. They are killer coils. Hey, if I use them, they've got to be good. This is Breestone's coils in here. Cloud 9 is the cotton that's really fluffy and easy to work with. This is a damn fine setup.
And so now you got a little bit of info from me. You got a little bit of build info from Steve. You got a little bit of dogs being awesome. And I'm kind of running out of things to say. Steve, what do you got for me?
I don't know. What we're going to talk about? We talked about DNAs. We talked about our buffet. I did an impromptu build. Oh, we were going to talk about the documentary. If you guys might have noticed, I posted this morning quite a chunk of text. The documentary is officially canceled as of this point because of two things. One, and I've been kind of going around this for a while, but one, the way the world has changed, the way things are right now, a lot of people are doing things really, really hard. Finances are very, very difficult. No one knows if they're going to have a job next week, if they're going to have the finances to survive through. So I can't, in good conscience, ask people to send me their spare cash, go make a movie. No matter how good the subject is, how important we feel it is, you know, home and hearth, family, food, all that stuff comes first. So there's that side of things. And the other side is that even if, I think I've got 9 days left on my original crowdfunding, even if I did make the funding, I don't know, 3, 6 months. Am I going to be allowed to go and get on an airplane and travel around and talk to people? I don't know how long things are going to last and when it's actually going to be safe. So we're just drawing a line under this phase of crowdfunding, and we're going to wait until the world turns, until things change, and see where we're at. And if it becomes more feasible, then I will definitely I'll go back and do it. I'm not giving up on the idea. It's still something that I seriously think is a story that needs to be told. But yeah, it's not the right time. I kind of kicked myself. I came up with the original concept in November, and it took me a good 2 3 months to get things together, to get my budget together. If I had started fundraising maybe in early December, things might have been a bit different. But literally, I had a week of free time, and then the world has imploded right in the middle of my fundraising. So yeah, like I said, I don't hold it against anyone if they weren't going for it. I understand. Yeah, things are what they are. We'll try it again next time.
Yeah. Real quick in the chat, Joey. Jason, I'm real bad at letters tonight, says hitting the night, going out. So have a good one, bro. Thanks for hanging out. And then, yeah, with the documentary too, it gives you more time to even like focus on stuff maybe you wanted to focus on more to when you put it together. So
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, each time I have a project, I step back and think about it, and I usually end up coming at it again from a slightly different angle, maybe a bit improved, usually a bit bigger. But we'll see how this one goes. If I can, because it's not something I can just do. I can replicate in the house, but it'll give me a bit more time to think about, how we're gonna rework this.
yeah. And that's not directly related, but like you said, you look at things with a different perspective. I kind of got into that last night myself with editing photos because I've been sitting here going over old stuff, keeping myself busy, producing stuff. Like I posted that picture, that black and white, a picture of my friend Sarah E. on Instagram yesterday, and it came out really good. And it kind of just brings me to the point of over time, like things change, your skills change, your attitude changes, your perception of things change, and so going back on it, it definitely puts a good touch on things. So this is something I just want to suggest to the group to keep you busy. If any of you guys are stuck at home, go back over old stuff that you've done before. I know not all of us are content creators, and that's fine, but you've all taken beautiful pictures of whether sunsets or your dogs or your kids and stuff. Go back and revisit old good memories, see what kind of touch you can put on it, and post it on Instagram. Put some positive stuff out there. And, I'm a shit posting meme guy and all that stuff. But, man, these toilet paper memes are getting old, guys. Come on, let's freshen it up.
Yeah.
But otherwise...
Steven Sard, I just want to... Sorry. Steven Sard just looked through the comments and says he wants to do one-on-one, do blind build competitions, 1 versus 1, same RDA, blindfolded build. Who does it correctly without leaks? I'd be down for that. I'm not doing a blindfolded build. I can barely see as it is these days. I'm not
Do you guys see him trying to use his phone?
trying to figure out. Yeah, man. No, I'm not doing a blindfolded build, but a one-on-one random build off, like with something completely new to one versus someone else with something that I haven't tried before, looked at, open it and see what we can do. That would be fun. I'd definitely go for that. What else is happening in T-Get? A whole show without butthole talk? So far.
Yeah, show's not over. So before we get into the butthole talk, we're running down in our last 15 minutes. You guys go ahead and start throwing your X1s in the chat. Remember that we are giving away an Anarchist V2 camo comp mod. And so it's got the Anarchist button on it, all original. Came straight from the source. Well, someone in that was close to the source. This thing probably has never been used. So, yeah, go ahead and start throwing in your X1s, and then we'll get that shipped out to whoever the winner is tomorrow. And then, since T-Gets brought it up, we're talking about butthole talk. And so, since we're at the end of the show, all the people that probably are prim proper are gone by now because we didn't give nothing away. Let's talk about some buttholes.
So, I have a story I read just this morning, actually. A woman, because of the TP shortage and coronavirus and all that stuff, decided to finally install the bidet that she had purchased earlier. and she puts it in her toilet. And she's all set up. It's ready to go. It's all wired in or tubed in, cabled in, whatever. She goes, okay, let's give this a try. And she quite enjoys it. It's fresh feeling, and it's warm, and it's clearing out all the cracks and crevices without having to actually work at it. And she's quite enjoying that. And she pulls up her pants. She's like, okay, that's great. And she goes about her day, and then she starts getting itchy. Itchy down there. And then starts getting burning. And she's, at this point, out. She's at the bank. And she's walking around, and her butthole's all itchy. And she's like, I'm normally a prim, proper, very conservative person. I'm an Asian woman, and I'm walking around the bank, like hands buried deep in there, scratching and whatever. And she gets back home, and she realizes two things. The pipes are incorrectly installed. It's drawing water from the tank, not from the wall. And the water in the tank has Clorox blue.
The tabs. Oh my God.
Yeah. And so she hadn't dabbed or washed dry or anything because, well, fresh water, why would you do that? And so she's walking around with Clorox and bleach on her butthole all day and wondering why it's starting to burn.
Well, if you've ever seen the female anatomy too, the other things are close to the butthole, so I imagine it's just not a pleasant experience all around.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fun. So that's our butthole talk, my butthole story for the day.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Other than my last butthole story, which involved spontaneously shitting on someone.
Yeah, I remember David Moyle said it brings the whole new. He commented on the video, said it's a whole new take on live streaming. If you guys weren't here for that, I'll tell the quick story for Steve. We were telling about like weird stories, and Steve went to go fart on his buddy and sprayed him in the face with some diarrheas.
Yes. Was a lot of running the fuck away.
Yeah. I don't really think I have any new butthole stories
No?
going on. Let me think. Yeah, actually. I went to the store, what was it, Saturday or Sunday? And lo and behold, everyone's in there going crazy. And so there's this lady that was out there with her kids, and she was like yelling at them and all this stuff, running around touching everything. And I'm not too weird about it. I'm pretty sure I had the sickness before it was all cool. Pocket posers. Anyways, this lady was yelling at her kids and all this stuff, and she had all these gloves and stuff on and the mask and all that stuff, but her kids didn't. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. Long story short, I'm in line behind them, and I'm at the self-checkout. And this lady goes, and she's yelling at the kids for touching everything, saying they're going to get germs. Then takes her hand, proceeds to stick it in her crotch, scratches her fupa. And if you don't know what a fupa is, it's an acronym for the front upper pussy area. And starts scratching down in there. And I'm pretty sure I heard friction of hair. And then yells at her kids for doing that, and then sniffs her hand after scratching herself, after yelling at her kids for touching everything, saying they're going to get germs. Guys, if you go out in public and you got an itch, don't yell at someone for not being clean when you're over there scratching your cooter.
Look. Here's the thing.
It's not butthole, but it's front butt. Sorry.
We've all done it. We've
Yeah.
all done it. There are occasions where you need to readjust, where something's sticking to the side of your leg because it's this hot, sweaty day,
Yeah.
where you've got an unending itch at the back. We've all done it. But you do it surreptitiously. You do it quietly.
Scratch over your clothes. You got an itch. That's cool. It's a lot less embarrassing to watch you scratch your junk over your jeans than it is inside your jeans, and then touch shit that everyone else has to touch. T. Get says my future wife.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing it in the line at the grocery store and then handling all the cash and handing that over.
You know what I mean? And it's funny, too. Another thing I've noticed is people getting weird about the germs, but they have no problem touching money. And money is the nastiest fucking thing that's ever been around. Literally, everyone has touched money. From the guy on the corner of the block that's begging for $1 to the strip club dancer named Sugar Puffs that put it in her coochie. So if you're going to complain about being gross and germs, number one, your money's nasty. Use your debit card if you can. And number two, don't scratch your fupa. Get a couple more X ones in there, and I'll get this going. Sorry, Steve, go ahead.
I know a lot of the stores are switching or requesting as much as possible. Use a cashless or a contactless, use the card, all that stuff. I've seen, I can't remember what it was. There was, of course, Facebook, some person talking about Corona, etc. And one comment just stood out, and there was like 20 underneath it, so I had to click in to read all this. And this guy was going off about how this is just, it's just the way, it's all planned. You know, we're going to have a cashless society, one world government, forced vaccinations, and it's just this massive list of things that were going to come because of Corona, and it's just a flu, man. It's just all ridiculous, and I was thinking about that exactly, exactly. I was reading this guy's thing. It was like, it's amazing that the people who believe in these ultra conspiracy theories have way more faith in humanity than I do. Because I know that when you get three friends together and you try to decide where you're going to go for